What up, everybody? It is Dr. Jace, and welcome to week number 3. That is right, week number 3 of your 7314 class, which is your reference course. Again, and as always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and this will be a check-in video. Generally, I will have the check-in videos up on Monday or Tuesday, but I do have some weird obligations this semester that might make me have to do them a little later in the week. And then also, when it comes to this week in particular, I had a big issue with my apartment flooding Saturday, Sunday. I got sick, I think, from that. And so I've been playing catch up throughout the week. But I'm always playing catch up because they give us a lot to do. So this might not be the last week that I am late recording the check-in video, but I am going to try to get them up by Tuesday night / Wednesday morning generally. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Believe it or not, I am not going to deceive you all this time. There is kind of a running theme for those of you who have had me in courses before. You all know that I will say that these check-in videos are going to be short as I am talking, and then they get longer and longer and longer. But this one, I promise, will be 20 minutes or less because we are going to go through something very basic today. First of all, just as far as catching you all up on the course, I am going to say that so far your discussion posts have been excellent. I have no complaints about those. Don't forget that the discussion prompt for, the second discussion prompt was a two-parter, and so there is a second element to it that is due really on February the 7th. I think that I have February the 5th in the actual prompt, but it's really going to be February the 7th. So, which is Sunday night, but a lot of you try to get your work done by the end of Friday, and if you are trying to do that, there is no shame in that game. Okay, so what we are going to do for the rest of this time, and again, this should only take me about 17 minutes at the most, is we are going to just look at the journal the journal finder feature for Mizzou. Because you all are taking a reference class, hopefully, I do go through the links and check them and make sure that they're up to date. However, there may be a chance that links get a little different or we lose database access or something of that nature during the course of the semester. So what I am going to do right now is I am going to show you all how to use the journal finder feature for Ellis Library, and then I am also going to tell you all about interlibrary loan. Most of you who work in libraries probably already know how to do this stuff, and so if you do know how to do that, then that is fine. Go ahead and end the video now if you already are familiar with these things, because this will not be informative of you and there's no need to waste your time. However, there are students of varying levels of library experience, library employment history, etc., etc. So for those of you who don't know how to use the journal finder feature, or for those of you who don't know how to request something through interlibrary loan, I'm going to teach you that right now. Again, it's going to take less than 17 minutes, so this will be a 20-minute video approximately. And yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it. By the time I'm done with this, I want you all to be able to do a little bit of discovery on your own. So if there is a broken link to an article or anything like that, I want you to be able to try Journal Finder or Interlibrary Loan or something in order to get it. Although I will say that the assigned readings for this course, I don't want to make y'all go through Interlibrary Loan to get those because that's just excessive. If there is something that Mizzou doesn't seem to have access to at all and you can't find it on the free web, definitely let me know, because I don't want you to have to interlibrary loan anything. But I am hoping that the interlibrary loan, I am hoping that by showing you all how to use interlibrary loan, that especially when you are doing papers or doing anything else throughout the rest of this program, you are prepared to do so. So let's first take a look at this journal finder feature. Pause. Okay, so I'm at the library homepage for Mizzou, which is library.missouri.edu. And let's say that, actually, I'm going to pause again. Okay, I didn't test this ahead of time because sometimes you just want your students to see your errors as well, or you want your students to see the fact that the process is not always smooth and linear. So I am going to hope that this works, but I don't know if it's going to work. So we are going to see together. Okay. So what I have done, I've got another window open here, another tab, I should say, and I've got a tab for an article that appeared in the Journal of Cultural Heritage, excuse me, and it appeared in 2001. Now we do have a link here. Again, I'm in Google Scholar. We do have a link here. So this is probably an open access article that we can get anyway. But if you didn't have this link and you were trying to see if Missouri had this article, if Mizzou had this article, the library, then what you could do is, of course, there is the aggregate search, but I tend to actually prefer the old school method in case that aggregate doesn't work, because aggregates are very dependent, I believe, on the metadata for the various vendors of databases, ProQuest, EBSCO, whoever. I think that in order to get those aggregate search engines to work properly, you have to have the right metadata. And I've seen institutions, not so much Mizzou, but I've seen other institutions, including one that I used to work for, that just had a big problem making the aggregate search work because of the search engine. I mean, because of the metadata issues, and saying that, I won't say which database company this institution said had bad metadata, but there was definitely one of the major database vendors that they said, oh man, their metadata is terrible. So anyway, if we wanted to view this issue of the Journal of Cultural Heritage to see if we can get to this article, which is 3D Digitizing of Cultural Heritage, what we can do is, from the Missouri Library homepage, the Mizzou Library homepage, we can actually go to a specific journal. And then we can put our journal title in. So we have the Journal of Cultural Heritage, I believe. And we can click search. Now, it is probably going to ask you to log in. I was just already logged in because I'm always doing work with Mizzou, but it may ask you to log in. So one thing that you have to do is, a lot of times there'll be more than one option for full text access. So what you have to do is you have to find the full text access that includes the date that you're looking for. And this isn't necessarily a good example here, but I scrolled down and saw a good example. You see this? So this is the Journal of Rare Books, Manuscripts, and Cultural Heritage, and you can see that there are actually two full text access options through Mizzou. One that goes from 2000 to 2016, and one that's from 2000 to present. So if you were looking for something in RBM that was from 2017, you would pick this one because it would be out of the coverage range here. Now let's scroll back up, because what we want to do is make sure that we are in our coverage range here. So this is 2001. So it looks like we're going to be in our coverage range. So we can click on Science Direct, and we can go to all issues. Now, from here, best thing to do is to go to, you see 2001, that's their volume 2. There are 4 issues within the within volume 2, there are 4 issues. Now, let's go back over here to this other tab, because what I want you all to see, now again, you're going to see the full text of the article when I click this, I believe, because it looks like this is open access, given that there is that link in Google Scholar there. However, if this link wasn't here in Google Scholar, then when you click this, it would then take you to an abstract and not the full text. So we have the full text, like I said, but normally if you don't have that link, then it's not open access, and then you would just have the abstract. But with the abstract, you do also get volume and issue information. So when we want to find this article, we know, and we would know this again even if we didn't have the full text, if we just had the abstract, we can go to volume 2, issue 1, and we will be able to find the article there. So again, volume 2, issue 1 was what it told us. So we're going to go to this link here. And then when we go to this link, we scroll down, we scroll down, we scroll down. And, well, okay, so we've got all this. Let's see. All right, and this is our article here. So as you can, again, I'm going to just take you, well, did I get rid of my Google Scholar? There we go. So we had 3D digitizing and cultural heritage, and as you can see, once we scroll down, we'll get there eventually. Now you can also do a Control F, and then you can find it. So like if I knew the title was 3D digitizing, I could just put that in, and then it would get sent down here. And again, I can just download the PDF from there and so forth and so on. All right, so that is how Journal Finder works. So again, that didn't take too long, and now I'm just going to show you how Interlibrary Loan works. Pause. Okay, so I actually had some form of recording malfunction go on there. So I apologize for the choppiness of this. And I wasn't able to fix it the way I wanted to. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pause this and find a good example for us so that I can show you how Interlibrary Loan works. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, and again, I am apologizing for the choppiness of this, but okay, I have found an article that we can use to kind of demonstrate the concept that I'm talking about with Interlibrary Loan. This one right here. So as you can see, like, again, when you are in Google Scholar, if you see these little links to the side, that usually means that either these are open access articles or the article is available to view through the library that your computer might be associated with or have cookies for or whatever. But if you do not see this little link guy over here, then that means that there probably is not open access to this. And if it's not something that you would have in your if it's not something that your library subscribes to, then you wouldn't have immediate library access either. In this case, I'm going to assume that this 1981 article is not something that Mizzou's library has immediate access to. So I am going to go ahead and click this here. And I am going to fill out an interlibrary loan request. So what I can do right here, I am back at the library homepage, library.missouri.edu. And what you can do is scroll down here where you see quick links to request an item or ILL at MU. I'm actually going to do the ILL at MU. Okay. Now, when you first do this, it's actually going to ask you to log in. It just did not ask me to log in because in the previous thing that I was doing with that recording error, I had already logged in. So that's the reason you don't see the login step here. But it will ask you to log in, and the login will be the same as your Missouri username and password. So I am going to request this article. And the way to do that is once you are in the portal for Interlibrary Loan, go to New Requests and go to Articles. And then really you only have to fill out the information that has the asterisk by it. But because I am supplied with more than that, every little bit helps. So I'm actually going to fill in the additional information as well. So, and we actually have all that we need here to fill out our interlibrary loan request. So right here we have evaluation of the scared straight model, some methodological and political considerations. That is our article title, so we are going to copy that and we are going to put it where they are asking for the article title, which is down here. We have authors, even though that is not required, we will go ahead and supply those because we do have them. So we will copy and paste that into there. Let's see what else. Of course, the journal title is required. And our journal title in APA, which this is an APA formatted citation, will be in our italics. So we are going to go ahead and copy that, paste that as our journal title. We do have volume and issue also. It's volume 27, issue 3. So let's just plug that in, 27, issue 3. We may not have a month. No, we don't. But we do have a year, 1981. I wasn't even born yet in 1981. And man, the older I get, the harder it is for me to find articles where I can say I was not born yet. But yes, I was born in the 1980s, but I was born after 1981. So I am getting old, but I am not as old as I hope I will eventually be. So we have those inclusive pages there, 130 to 134. So this one is a short one. And this other stuff I'm not going to worry about. However, I am going to say that the not wanted after this date, it is really pushing that out there. Usually you can, so most interlibrary loan requests are actually fulfilled within 72 hours if they are digital. Now, things can be a little different if you are requesting physical materials, and especially these days in COVID, a lot of times those physical materials aren't even being lent out. But in this case, we are going to go ahead and move this up. They generally will not take 2 months. I'm actually just going to artificially put this as March 1st. But a lot of times, even if you only give them 2 weeks, you're going to be fine. Okay? Because again, most of them are fulfilled within 72 hours. What in the world just happened? Lord. I'm sorry, y'all. Pause. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure why my information had just disappeared a few minutes ago. We're going to try this again. Submit request. There it is. So now you have the outstanding request, and what will happen is when they have fulfilled this request, that is when I would get an email, and the email would tell me that my request has come in. I have 30 days to download it. Then I can log back into the Interlibrary Loan portal, go to outstanding requests, and download. They will have a PDF for that article, and I would be able to download it from there. Okay, so like I promised you, and this is one of the rare times when I am actually going to say it'll be less than 20 minutes, and it actually will be. So at this time, because we are still under 20 minutes and I've shown you what I wanted to show you, you are now off on your own devices. So go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you were doing. If you were doing work for my class, I know you will enjoy that. So this is Dr. J's Peace and Grace. I'm out.